Hello, Star Traveler here again, here with another topic for a vlog that I wanted to talk about. Once again, it's non-scripted. It's just me free-flowing my thoughts to a video. This time I want to talk about AI art, AI in general, and of course the accompanying automation that has been happening for the past over 100 years, I suppose, in a more prominent manner. So, ever since humanity has acquired the ability to use tools, well, in general, just since humanity in general started to exist, we searched for ways how to make our lives easier and make everything a bit easier to do. Back then it was just a matter of our survival. We had to create tools for hunting, for gathering, for cultivating the lands as well, and as well as for various crafts. So tool making has been always there for us to improve our lives and to make it less dangerous, make it more efficient and faster, easier. With further development of technology, and things have gotten a bit more easier to do things. It improved our lives ever so slightly. Until I suppose we've reached the 19th century with the Industrial Revolution. People started developing machines due to the fact that we have discovered a way or invented a way to harness steam power, as well as eventually also combustion engines. Internal combustion engines, I mean, for mobility. All that was, of course, meant for us to be able to overcome certain difficulties, to make things faster, to produce more stuff, to make our lives easier in general. Like, we managed to succeed at it, but at a certain cost, of course, back then, as well as still kind of relevant in a sense today. This all automation process has been associated as well with loss of employment, loss of source of income for a lot of people. Of course, I'm overgeneralizing, oversimplifying everything like here right now, but that's the general gist as well that I want to touch upon. That's the kind of like part of it where we will move on to the whole AI art topic in general. I would like to mention the fact that even today still the automation process is ongoing, and there's less people working in factories in comparison to what it was like 100 years ago, when it was like one of the primary ways for people to earn their living, especially for just people, city residences. These days, a lot of factories replaced a lot of menial and very difficult tasks, sometimes even dangerous tasks, by machines, so people don't really have to do them anymore. Of course, it took away jobs from a lot of people, but it made things safer, faster, and more efficient. So you have a bit of a positive as well as kind of a negative in the way that the people are losing their jobs, but a positive, people people's lives are being saved in this case. So, it's all fine and good, but the thing is that this doesn't just stop with just factory work. Automation also happens in things like even as menial as just retail work, replacing cashiers with just automatic checkout machines, where you could just come in and just check out, taking away jobs from cashiers. There are as well machines that help or even just replace downright people who do things like cleaning and sweeping, and basically like a lot of menial, boring and repetitive tasks are being replaced with machines. On one hand, it's a good thing because people don't have to do these boring tasks, menial tasks, sometimes really repetitive and kind of tasks that makes some people unhappy. But at the same time, it does take away jobs from people. Let's not forget, some people, especially it is important, for example, for people who don't have really any like specific education. They might actually need these sort of jobs, menial, repetitive, and that do not require any particular qualification. Naturally, there's still a lot of this around. The automation process is not as prominent as some people might want to, or some companies might strive towards to. But this is not exactly a thing that is really super widespread, but it is happening nonetheless. We do have also here where I live, like automatic checkout booths where you just come in and just scan your own products and pay for yourself, and no cashier required. It's faster. You don't have to wait in line or anything like that. Well, at least not much, because you can place a lot more of these machines in one spot. They can so you can make the whole process faster. Even still, this is not stopping there though. Essentially, machines will start replacing might even start replacing people even in more places where people still consider to be working. Like a lot of stuff is already being done by machines that we currently take for granted. Even things like chip manufacturing for computers, they're no longer made by people, no longer even designed by people anymore. And the latest chips that consist usually of millions and billions of transistors are being designed by computers, by machines, by artificial intelligence. So hence, there's less people even working on things like innovation and design. Machines do it for you, essentially. Which of course, some of these tasks might not be really possible for a human being to accomplish. Like, for example, AI is very still useful in things like research, when you need to do a lot of calculations and simulations, where a human could accomplish these tasks in a matter of lifetimes. Well, a computer could do it in just mere fraction of that time. It would hasten the ability to learn things and study about the universe and do research in general. One thing has always been touted though about artificial intelligence and robotics when it comes to replacing human workers is that machines cannot replace human creativity and imagination and the ability to create arts, writings, and videos and music and things like that. Well, that apparently is not exactly a truthful statement these days. Apparently these days, now machines essentially can produce these things with just a touch of a button. Just input a few prompts and you'll get a product ready, basically. And it takes you very little time in comparison to making the actual work, or involving like things like skill set of when you have to do lines and shading and things like that. So the question remains then, or like it kind of like pops up here at least. What are you gonna do? I mean, people need to earn money. People need jobs. How do you solve this issue when machines are going to be replacing people, even in more complex and more human hands-on activities where people are kind of been seen an indispensable aspect? So what are you going to do? Will you kind of be able to kind of even earn money this way? People have been proposing things like universal income and things like that, but it's not exactly also a way out from the situation. And I have no idea how to even solve this myself. And here I come to the aspect of AI art, when it's actually starting to threaten people's livelihoods again. And part of the human nature that is basically thought was to be irreplaceable, where you can't really replace it with some kind of mechanical or digital intellect, where people can just simply dish out like artworks and videos and music just with a press of a single button, allow the machine to calculate and create things without even a single human involvement. It's a moral aspect aside, due to how algorithms learn how to create these things by basically taking works from other people without asking, and compensation, of course. Essentially stealing, because in the end this is essentially theft after all. That aside, we are entering a very, not just kind of like society changing era, but we could be entering even a very, very dangerous era in general. Of kind of like where you will kind of start considering what exactly is even true when artificial intelligence is able to create videos as real as actual reality. What kind of things you can create, even horrible propaganda pieces of people saying something that they've never said before, or blatant lies about certain things, or sometimes even like absolutely horrendous and disgusting things where people would create videos of certain type of nature involving certain type of people involved in acts of they're not supposed to be doing. I'm trying to be very cordial here because this is very risky and very touchy subject. So I have to be very careful when speaking about this. So it is a very risky portion. Impersonation is going to be a very serious subject when it comes to AI art and AI generated videos. I want you to understand at least the risks of these, how it comes with these kinds of these new technologies. This certainly will not be the only videos I will ever make on AI art in general. But these are the concerns that really are starting to become real. Aside from like things like just moral implications of stealing jobs and artwork and using unlicensed works and claiming them as your own creations. Well, and basically taking stuff from other people and claiming them being yours. That aside, we're entering a dangerous era where you create a piece of content that could be weaponized in a way by some bunch of teenagers in their own rooms, in their own parents' houses, possibly starting something very terrifying. Naturally, things like legislation will need to evolve, thinking will need to be evolve, education will need to be evolved about AI content. We are at the precipice of some very serious changes in society. And it will be interesting to see where this is going to go and if we will be able to preemptively stop any potential disaster before it occurs and not, as we humans usually do, implement changes only after disaster strikes. So, for now I will say that let's try to be careful. Let's disseminate information if we find anything that is questionable. And try to think logically but I have to be more careful these days about what kind of information we're consuming. Because you can never know. You might end up becoming a victim of being fooled by a piece of media that is made with the press of a single button for either creating discord or instigating divisions or conflicts, potentially even creating really serious geopolitical instabilities, or just some people for doing it for the lulz, which is also kind of possible. Where people we kind of have a history with that. So let us, for now, be more vigilant and more careful about what we are engaging with, what kind of information we're consuming. This is only a beginning. This is not something that's going to be stopped that easily. Regulation will need to be implemented, since this is very dangerous technology, even though it might seem just kind of like really cutesy at the beginning. Yeah, I can make cute art or make videos all by myself with a click of a single button. Sort of thing. It's not really about that specifically. This is about upcoming dangers where our desire for automation and simplification of our day-to-day activities and work, where we start endangering ourselves and our societies. So, I don't mean to be alarmist or be paranoid about it. So certainly not that. But we have to be careful and vigilant. That's what I'm saying. And disseminate information in a much more scrupulous way. So, stay safe, everybody, and hopefully we will be able to avert any potential disaster before it actually comes to fruition. I will be returning to the topics of AI art and AI generated content in the future as well, because this is a very vast topic in general. So I want to be fair. I just wanted to express this potential, well, this thought for a potential risk of this kind of type of content. For now, I will bid you all goodbye and have a good day. Stay safe out there. Do be careful.